As a beginner, engaging in a hobby for the first time can be intimidating. You may feel as though your mind is whirling and your wallet is leaking cash at an alarming rate. But that's not how things have to be all the time. Pickleball is in a unique situation in that it's both inexpensive and simple to learn. Today we're going to guide you through the process of getting started in pickleball as a complete beginner. So if you love pickleball and want to learn more about it, just take a second to subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss any of our recent videos. In today's video, we're going to talk about the basic pickleball rules that you should know as a beginner in the game, along with a definitive guide on how to play pickleball superbly. Now let's get right into the video. This video is a short, easy-to-understand guide to playing pickleball, so you can share your favorite game with your family, friends, and neighbors. All of us who pickle know that it's a great way to get people together. It gets everyone moving, makes them talk to each other, and most of all, it's fun. And anybody can play, whether you're young or old, good at sports or not. There's a place for you on the pickleball court. Don't worry if you don't have access to a real pickleball court. Use what you have and think outside the box. People put up nets or pictures of nets, chalk, and tape lines in their driveways, cul-de-sacs, parking lots, and everywhere else you can think of. A tennis court that isn't being used is a common place to go. You don't have to have perfect court specs unless you want them to be. Just grab 4 paddles and a few balls and you're ready to go. Take someone out for a game of pickleball to make their day. Make teams at a friendly reunion to make it more fun. Get the kids off of their gadgets. Invite a few friends over for some fun. Set up a pickleball tournament for neighbors and/or club members to get to know each other. The rules in a nutshell. Pickleball is typically a doubles game. It can also be played as singles. The basic rules and playing area are the same. The serve. When you serve, you must hit the ball underhand and below your waist. A bounced serve is not possible. Start the serve with at least 1 foot behind the baseline. Neither foot can touch the baseline or the court before the ball is hit. Before touching the ball, the server must call out the score. There are 3 ways to talk about the score: the server score, the receiver score, and the server's number 1 or number 2. The serve is made diagonally across the court, and the ball must land in the diagonal court on the other side. There's only one chance to serve, unless there is a let. Let serves are replayed. Service sequence. Both players on the team that is serving can serve and score points until they make a mistake, except for the first serve sequence of each new game. Each side out starts with the first serve coming from the right even court. If a point is scored, the server switches sides and starts the next serve from the left odd court. As more points are scored, the server keeps switching until a mistake is made and the first server loses the serve. When the first server misses the serve, the partner serves from the right side of the court, except for the first service sequence of a game. The second server keeps serving until his or her team makes a mistake and the other team gets the serve. Once the service goes to the other team, at the side out, the first serve comes from the right even court, and both players on that team can serve and score points until their team makes 2 mistakes. When playing singles, the server serves from the right even court when his or her score is even, and from the left odd court when it is not. Now, before we move ahead to talk about more game-changing pickleball tips, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep bringing more informative pickleball content to you. Your little contribution means a lot for us. Scoring. The game is won by the first team to score 11 points and have a 2-point lead. Most matches are played over the course of 2 out of 3 games. Only the team that serves gets points. When the score of the team serving is even, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, the player who has the first serve in the game will serve or receive from the right even court. When the score is odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, that player will serve or receive from the left odd court. 2 bounce rule. When the ball is served, the team that gets it has to let it bounce twice before passing it back to the team that served it. After the ball has bounced twice, players can hit ground strokes or volleys. At the start of each point, the 2 bounce rule is in effect. Volleyball is not allowed in the NVZ. You can go inside the NVZ at any time except when hitting a volley. When you hit a volley, it is a fault if you step on the NVC, including the line, or if your momentum makes you touch the NVC. You also means everything you are wearing or carrying. If you or anything you're wearing or carrying moves onto the NVC after hitting a volley, that's a mistake. Even if the volleyball is called dead before this happens, it's still a mistake. Line calls. A ball that lands on any line except the NVC line during a serve is in. If the serve hits the NVC line, it's a fault. Faults. A fault is any action that stops play because of a rule violation. A fault by the receiving team results in a point for the serving team. A fault by the serving team results in the server's loss of serve or side out. Some of the most common faults: hitting the ball into the net or out of bounds, hitting a volley from inside the NVC, a player touching the net or post when the ball is in play, a ball striking a player, a ball striking a permanent object before bouncing on the court, a serve that doesn't land in the receiver's service court, serves must clear the MVC including the MVC line, hitting a volley after a serve, a bounce must occur on each side before anyone can hit a volley, stepping on the baseline before hitting a serve, a server striking the ball before the referee calls the score in an officiated match. Learning pickleball. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it's not hard to learn how to play pickleball. It just takes time. Most people pick up pickleball just by playing it. But the main thing is to just have fun. If you listen to what people say while you play, you'll get used to it. Don't worry about the exact rules too much. Just try to have fun, pay attention to the fun parts of pickleball. But there are a few things you should know before you go to the courts. First, don't forget to bring water. When playing pickleball, it's important to drink enough water. You should also know 2 other rules. 2 important rules to know. There are 2 basic rules that you must know when you play pickleball. People will help you out on the courts, but it's best to have these rules swimming around in your mind before heading out. Don't worry if you mess up and forget about these rules. Even experienced players mess up on them sometimes. The kitchen rule. This is one of the pickleball rules that everyone knows about. The kitchen is a part of the court that is 7 feet from the net on each side. It is also called the no volley zone. In short, this is the kitchen rule. You can't volley a ball if your feet are in the kitchen or if the momentum of your volley makes you step into the kitchen. A volley is when you hit the ball while it is still in the air before it has bounced. You can step into the kitchen to hit the ball if it bounces, but if you volley it while it's in the kitchen, it hasn't hit the ground yet, it's a fault. Don't forget that this is just for volleys. If the ball has already bounced, you can spend as much time as you want in the kitchen. The rule is there so that people don't just stand at the net and knock everything over. That would make no sense at all. This can't happen because of the kitchen rule. Behind the kitchen, the general strategy is to put your feet 1 to 2 inches behind the kitchen line when it's your turn to volley. Force yourself not to move forward. It takes some time to get used to, but it's the best way to train yourself. Trust me, you'll step into the kitchen a lot and get a fault, but so will everyone else. When I was a beginner, I did it more than once. The double bounce rule. This is another well-known rule that new players often break. When I was just starting out, I would break this rule at least a few times a match. It's pretty funny when someone breaks the rule since it's not that hard to understand. The rule is this. The double bounce rule says that after the serve and the return serve, the ball must bounce once. This means that the return server can't hit the ball out of the air when it's served. Also, the serving team can't hit it out of the air when the return server hits it back to them. So the rule is called the double bounce rule. Before any volleys can start, the ball has to bounce once on each side. Easy enough, right? My past pickleball beginner self would disagree. This one is hard to remember, so it can be hard to get used to. It's also tempting to hit balls in the air. The best way to avoid making this mistake is to remind yourself not to step too far forward when you or your partner serve the ball. If you stay back on the court, you won't be able to volley the ball. So what do you think about pickleball as a sport? Is it fun or not? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow picklers. Also, if you love pickleball, then make sure to watch this next video on our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.